Welcome to Elevate 2022. My name is Patricia Guzman, and in this section we are going to learn how to implement UI themes inherent in objects in Power Builder 2022. Let's get started. This is our disclaimer. In today's agenda we are going to cover what the UI themes are. So we are going to see some concepts like system and custom themes. We are going to see the enhancements in Power Builder 2022 and the considerations that we need to take care of when we creating custom themes. We are going to apply custom UI themes and apply UI themes inherent to user objects and windows in our Power Builder application. These last points we are going to see in our demo. Okay, about the author, I work at Dora Sistemas, which is an Appium partner in Latin America. I'm in charge of the educational department, and we are creating new training programs online about Power Builder, like Fast Tracks, Mastering the Data Window Object, between others. The idea is to invite new programmers to know about Power Builder and be part of our wonderful community. I have been working with Power Builder since version 6. I have experience with SQL Server, Oracle PL/SQL, SQL Anywhere, and know some Java as well. So what the UI themes are? It is a new UI technology for Power Builder applications. Allow developers to modernize the look and feel of Power Builder applications. It means that we don't need to write a lot of code in order to give a different appearance to our applications. So Power Builder gives us this opportunity to modernize our applications in a very different way. Okay. It was introduced in Power Builder 2019 Release 1, and it was improved their functionality in Power Builder 2019 Release 2. Regarding Power Builder 2022, we see inherent user objects. We can custom themes in controls and objects the same type, and in Windows we can custom themes in controls, objects in ancestor and descendant windows. We are going to see more information about this later in this presentation. Okay, we have now the system themes, and the system themes are installed in under theme folder, in this folder, and inside this theme folder we have 4 subfolders. These are Flat Design Blue, Flat Design Dark, Flat Design Gray, and Flat Design Silver. This theme folder comes in under, for example, you have right now Power Builder 2022 installed on your computer. You are going to find that folder under this path. Okay, each folder contains the UI theme definition file of the corresponding theme. So now we have the theme.json. This is the master theme definition file, which sets the visual appearance. In addition, we have numerous image files such as BMP, ICO, PNG files, and they are referenced in the theme.json and used to make up the visual elements. So if we open the folder theme, we are going to find, as I told you before, some different image files as well as the theme.json file. So we have to have these files in order to apply these themes in our application. Okay, this is regarding the system themes. Okay, regarding custom themes, we can customize the 4 system themes that we saw before, or we can create our own themes based on these system themes. Please remember that in the case that you decided to create your own themes, you have to keep them in the same folder theme. So we have to have folder called theme, and under this folder we can put all our customs files. Please don't forget about that. So we have some considerations when we create our custom UI themes. You can add a new folder in the theme path to hold your custom themes, or you can duplicate an existing system theme folder and use it as the starting point of your custom theme. It means that you don't need to start from scratch. You can use the same folder. It's recommended that you directly make a copy of the existing system theme folder and then make the changes to copy. So get a backup before. Remember, the theme.json file applies globally to all objects and controls in the application. In case that you create more theme files, but there are some considerations that you need to take care of. The first is that the theme file name must begin with the theme dash and end in .json. For example, we can have a file called theme-123.json or theme-custom-blue.json. Pay attention to the precedence on which settings will apply if multiple settings are defined for the same object control. If there are multiple theme.json files, the settings in the last file in alphabetical order will be applied. For example, if we set a background color for X window, for example, in the theme.json file, and also we set the background color to the same X window in the theme custom.json file, the settings in the last file in alphabetical order will be applied. In this case of this example, the theme custom.json file, all the settings that you have there will be applied. So be careful about this. Okay, let's continue. We have some considerations to create the custom UI themes. It's important to know that we need to have a valid JSON file. So we can use the Notepad++ with a plugin, JSON plugin. You can able to use it, or you can use a JSON lint, which is an online JSON validator and formatter. There are some other tools online, but the most important thing is that you have to have a valid JSON. As you can see here, the file is well structured and should be easy to follow. Here are a few points worth mentioning. Every supported control and their supported properties are listed and set with the full values in the theme.json file, as you can see. Drawing equal to true means that the settings will take effect after you apply the theme. Okay, we have also the border, and this one can be set to 0, 1 or 2. The other node values will be either X color value or a specific image file to be assigned to the node. So in the case that we don't know, for example, this X color value, we can go to online and we can see, for example, the HTML color codes and copy the corresponding color code in our JSON file. Okay, continue. So as I told you before, we need to be very careful about the JSON file. So we need to have a valid JSON, otherwise Power Builder won't recognize it. So we can get this kind of error message. Okay, let's continue. So we have some enhancements in Power Builder 2022. Supports current theme settings from the ancestor window. If the controller or object in the child window has no custom theme settings, it will inherit the theme settings from the control or object in the parent window. On the other hand, if the control or object in the child window has custom theme settings, its custom theme settings will take effect. The next one supports inheriting theme settings from the ancestor user object. The same thing, if the control or object in the child user object has no custom theme settings, it will inherit the theme settings from the control or object in the parent user object. If the control or object in the child user object has custom theme settings, its custom theme settings will take effect. I think we will understand this much better when we do a demo, so don't worry about it. Supports customizing theme settings from user objects of the same type. The developers can customize themes in ancestor controls and objects in a user object. The developers also can customize the descendant object as well. So we can add more controls, change the settings to the controls, etc. Okay, let's continue. We have some other enhancements in Power Builder 22 regarding UI themes. The new UI theme allows you to configure much more visual elements of the controls than before. So we have the ribbon bar, background color, border color, font color, and ribbon item control. So we need, for example, in the JSON file, we just add, or we need to set all these specifications in the JSON node called ribbon bar. Okay, the next one is menu. The menu, configure the menu, including menu bar, pop-up menu, toolbar over here, and the status bar of the window and the user object. So the JSON node is going to be a menu and the status bar. The next one is the grid line. We can configure the line and the color of the crosstab and grid data windows. So the JSON node is going to be that data window, cross style, and data window grid style. Also, we can customize the border color of the different controls. So the JSON node is going to be border color under each control that we want to customize. Background transparency is the background transparency of the group box, static text, and static hyperlink controls. Regarding graphs, we can configure the color of a graph. In addition, we can configure in images the box of the checkbox control, the radio for the radio button control, a row for the drop-down, date picker, drop-down list box, and drop-down picture list box controls. So we can customize all these settings, so we can make our applications more modern and more attractive. Okay, let's continue. So now we have our JSON file, so we can customize a specific object. So a specific control or user object in the window must be referenced in this format when we are working in our JSON file. So we need to put the window name, that, the control, or the object name. In the first example, we have only a specific window, so we put the name of the specific window. The next one, we are referring to a control called DW browser, so we need to put the name of the window, that, the name of the user object, that, the name of the control in that user object. Also, we can refer a control in the window, so we set the name of the window, that, the name of the control. And this other example, we can refer to the user object in a specific window, so we set the name of the window, that, the name of the user object. So as you can see, we can refer to different controls or objects in the JSON file. Okay, let's continue. So now that we know how to customize the theme, we need to know how to apply the theme. Okay, so we have two options in order to apply the theme to an application. The first one, you can set it in the themes tab in the additional properties or your application object. So we click in additional properties in the application object, we go to themes tab, and we select the theme that we want to use. This is one option. Okay, in the second option, you can use the apply theme method to set the theme dynamically. You should call it in the open event of your application object before calling any windows. You can specify Notepad, apply theme, and the name of the, do you remember the subfolders that we saw in the previous slides? So we can use in this example flat design blue. In addition, you can specify a relative path. As you can see, apply theme, that, backslash, folder themes, and the name of the theme, in this case flat design blue. Finally, you can specify an absolute path, apply theme, and the complete path where your team file is located. However, this option is not recommended. Why? It is because most of the time the path of the development environment is not the same as the production environment. Remember, the team will work in runtime and has no effect in the design time. So if we want to see the effect of our customization, we need to run the application. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to do our demo. First of all, we are going to see two windows. One uses the standard theme and the other one uses the custom theme. I want you to notice the difference between both of them. Okay. After that, we are going to do some customizations in a descendant class and use this descendant class as a user object in our custom window. And finally, we are reference it as a class level in our JSON file and also as an object level in our JSON file. We are do these two exercises. Okay. And finally, we inherit from our employee window and we are going to customize this descendant window. So we can see that the customization we can do in the ancestor and in descendant window. Okay, so let's go to Power Builder and do this demo. Before going to Power Builder, I want to show you the folder which is installed by default by Power Builder. In this case, I have Power Builder 2022 and under IDE folder we have our folder theme. Under this theme folder we have the 4 subfolders that I mentioned in the presentation. The same thing happens when I go to version 19 IDE folder theme, and also we can find the 4 subfolders. Okay, this is the first thing that I want to show you. The second one is I have my own folder for the presentation and I also have my folder theme. So I make a copy of all these 4 folders, and we are going to use inside this subfolder we are going to use these files, the theme and the theme custom blue. In theme custom blue we are going to make all our customizations. Okay, so in addition I want to tell you that I took as a reference the demo which is in Appium website called UI modernization. In the case that you need more information about it, or if you want to check or take a look at the code, you can download the code. Okay, so I took that as a reference in order to create my demo. Okay, so now we can go to Power Builder. Once in Power Builder, I want to show you the first option that we can use a custom theme. So let's go to our application object. As you can see here, we have the option additional properties. Click on it and go to the tab themes. Once we are here, we can select from this list the theme that we want to use for our application. Let me choose this flat design dark. So we have a preview over here and we can click on apply and OK. Okay. The next thing that we need to do is go to open. I have some code here calling the method apply theme. So at this moment I'm going to comment, just show you how it looks like with the theme that I just selected. So I just run our application and as you can see here we have our application with this custom design. Okay, so we can see our windows and all of them uses the theme selected. Okay, let me just close this one. I'm going to uncomment my code. Okay, and even though I keep it this one because I am using the apply theme, the theme that I specify here is the theme that we are using in our application. Okay, let me close this one. In addition, I have this class. Okay, this class has some controls, as you can see, command button controls, as well as the 2 data windows. and we are going to work in this class. So, but first of all, let me just run the application. As you can see, you have a standard. Okay, it's a very simple window with master and detail, and we have some options over here. In custom, we have the same distribution. It's another window, but as you can see, we have different customization in both of them. For example, you can see the color of the command buttons controls, as well as this color of this button save. In addition, we have the background color of the data window different than the other one. So it means that we can customize our specific window in the way that we want. Yes. Okay. So this is the first thing that I want to show you. Now, let me close the application. But first of all, we are going to inherit this class. So this one keeps the same, and we are going to inherit from. Okay. So now I'm going to add additional button, command button, and this one could be called cancel. Okay, cancel, and the text will be cancel. Ready? This is the first change that I'm going to make over here, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to put this one as our descendant. Okay, we're going to save. Okay, after that, I'm going to use it in our custom theme window. So now, before it was using uPerson class, so now I'm going to use the descendant, as now is in the window, so it's a user object right now, and this one I'm going to use the same name, in this case uOPerson. Okay, so I'm going to save. So let me just run the application again. I'm going to see custom. As you can see, we have the new command button over here. However, I want to make this different, so I can customize this command button. So the next thing that I want to do is I have to open my JSON customization file. In this case is theme-custom-blue.json, and as I told you in the presentation, we need a valid JSON. So I use Notepad++. This one has a plugin of JSON, so I can see JSON in this JSON format, and it's very clear for me. However, you are free to use any tool in what you can see your JSON, and you can verify if you have a valid JSON. I have here, let me show you this one. This one is the JSON lint. So if you, for example, this one is the JSON file that I have, and I can click here in validate JSON, and I have the answer over here. So you are free to use this tool as well. Okay, the first thing that I want to do over here is to give some customizations to our new command button, in this case CB cancel. So the first thing, I'm going to look at maybe person and CB save. Okay, let's see, and we have this one. Okay, so I am going to take as a reference this part because it uses the properties of the features of the command button. So I'm going to copy and paste over here. Okay, after that we can reference to our class, new descendant class. In this case, I'm going to use uPerson, but in this case descendant, and the name of the new control, in this case gonna be CB cancel. Okay, and after that we are able to modify any of these features of this CB cancel control in our class level. Okay, we change the background color and the border color with our fuchsia color and save. Okay, once we save, we're going to Power Builder and run our application and see how it looks like. Custom, and we see the cancel command button has this new custom color. Okay, now I'm going to change the background color of this data window detail. In this occasion, I'm going to modify or customize the control, but under object level. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going over here. I'm going to try to find the DW detail, which is the name of the data window. So let me go there and let me see if I can find the W detail. Only this in this way. Yeah, we have over here this one. In this case, we can do the modification over here directly because we are going to use the user object. We didn't change the user object name. We only create an additional class, which is descendant of the UO person class, and in this case, because it's the user object which is in the window, we can modify directly over here. So in the we can use, this is the detail, and we can find the background color. In this case, background color is white. Let me take a look and verify it's this over here. Yes, it's white. So we can use another color. Let me see, how about a blue one? So we can replace that color for this blue one. Let me just verify the color. Yeah, it's this blue one. Okay, so let's go over here, and instead of this one, we can use this code. Okay, so just save it and run custom, and we can see the new background color that we have now in our control, the DW detail. So we customize two controls, the cancel command button and the data window DW detail in our custom UI theme window. Okay, this is the first example. The second example that I want to do is to inherit. Let me first show you this window. It's employee window. As you can see, we have some single line edits controls, and some command buttons. Okay, the thing that I want to do is inherit this window, and we can customize some, for example, single line edits. We can change the background. So here I'm going to give some new title, gonna be descendant. Okay, I'm going to save it as let me see, this one gonna be descendant as well. Okay, I want to customize, for example, this single line edit SLE name. I want to change, for example, the background color of this one. So the same thing, I need to go here and try to find this control. Let me see, and this one is over here. As you can see, it's much better to just copy the section that it was set before and make the changes over here in the new text. Okay, it's much better than doing that from scratch. Okay, that's why I'm copy, I paste over here. Okay, so let's change the border to 0, and in addition, the text background, let me see this one, the background color. The background color, let me take a look and see which is this color. Is this one. How about we can see this one? You see, to notice that we are checking or changing this. And how about to put in color? Okay, in this case it's this one. So let me just save it. An additional thing that I'm just forgetting is to specify the descendant window. In this case, it's gonna be descendant. Okay, now we can save. And another thing that I need to do is over here in our main window, we call in our ribbon bar menu, we call this employee data. Now we are going to call the descendant employee data window. So just change that and run. So now in employee, as you can see, when we lost the focus, we have that background color, and as you can see, it's not border. Okay, it's not border as this one. You see, it's different. Okay, now let me go back to our file, and how about to change this color as well. So let me see and try to find another color. Let me go there. How about this one also? It's a different color, so we can use it in order to check, in order to make this change. So background color, we can use this one, and in the color also, how about this one also? Okay, so just let me save it and go into Power Builder. Let me just close this one, and before running the application, let me open this one. I need to disable this single line edit in order to see our customization. So just run it, employee, and as you can see, we have the new background color when the single line edit control is disabled. So it's doing okay with this one. Okay, it's working. Okay, now let's do something with this last name control. So let's go again to our JSON file, and we are going to try to find this I think it's last name. Let me see here, and we have some other options that we can change, as you can see. So the same thing, we just copy, paste it, and we want to, in this case, is our employee data descendant. Okay, so now we have some other options as well, like in the background color in the normal state, the focus state, the disabled state, and placeholder picture. So we can make some other modifications over here. So let me see. Okay, to this case, how about to modify or customize the text font color? In this case, I'm going to replace this value for this one, and this one is like a black. Okay, all of this we are going to change it. Okay, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to run the application. So employee, and here you can see almost the same, right? So we need to change to for other color, like red, for example, something like that. So let's try to do that. Let me go to my file, and here let me change that one for this one so we can see the difference. Let me see over here, and that's it. Let me see just also this one as well, and run the application. As you see, change, right? The same other color to the other color. Okay, and we are working in our descendant window. Okay, one additional thing that I want to show you is when you have a valid or not valid JSON. Let me just add another comma over here and save the file. Here I won't have any issues when I save the file. However, when I run the application, we are going to have this kind of error message. So we need to be very careful when we work in this JSON file. Okay, the last thing that I want to show you is when we create our Power Client project. So in order to keep our customization in our windows. We have seen in the master window our class. We need to keep them in our project when we just deliver our application. It is important to remember to include the theme folder in our external files when we create our project. As you can see here, I added the theme folder with all the 4 subfolders. You can see here, and you can find our theme JSON, the master, and we have the custom blue JSON. Okay, I have a backup over here, but this is the most important theme and theme JSON. So don't remember to include both of them, or the complete the whole theme folder in your project. Okay, so let me just generate it again. I want to show you how it looks like the application when you generate the project. So we can run, and we can see our windows, the custom window with our data window background color different, the color of the new command button cancel, and our standard window. In addition, we can see the employee with all the modifications that we did before. So this is the last thing that I want to show you. So let's go back to the presentation. What cannot be set by the team? I divided into groups about what controls cannot be customized. So in the first group we have Windows and user objects. Windows system dialog such as Save As, Open dialog, and the Power Builder built-in dialog such as Filter or Sort windows. The next one is Minimize, Maximize, Close buttons in the title bar. The next one is Menu that calls to a third-party DLL, and Floating frame bar. Under controls we have all the controls like line, oval, rectangle, round rectangle, picture, picture hyperlink, and animation. In addition, the OLE control or ActiveX control, rich text edit control, the background color of these controls, checkbox, radio button, group box, static text, and static hyperlink. The lines that connect the 3 items in the 3 view control as well, even though the hash lines properties is enabled. Okay. Under the group data windows, the theme is not effective to the data window with the following presentation style: label, composite, OLE 2.0, and rich text data windows. The data window title bar, the color of the data window band, except for the header of the grid and cross-tab data windows. The data window button control if the button displays a picture, and when printing or saving the data window as PDF file, except for the graph data window. Okay, now it's time for questions and answers. Okay, don't forget connect with us and be part of our Appium community, where you can find discussions, tech articles and videos, free online training, and much more. And follow us to our channels: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter and YouTube. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and enjoy Elevate 2022.
you.